Hey YouTube, Victor here on a rainy Saturday afternoon. Really excited. Just got a lot of positive things happening, a lot of changes coming in the near future that I'll share with you at another time. But today I want to share with you an episode on Sports Card Live. Jeremy Lee was gracious enough to have me on as a guest a couple of months ago. So sit back. This is more of a podcast episode. You don't have to sit there and watch. You can just listen if you're doing something this Saturday morning. It's a lot of what I do. I typically put on my headphones and I'll start doing my chores and that, and I'll just be listening to podcasts. I do a lot of podcast listening, either on the way to work or on the way home, or when I'm around the house just working on stuff. So sit back, relax, take a listen, and here we go.
All right, let's now get to tonight's guest. He got his first taste of the hobby in 1976 when he would rummage through his mother's groceries looking for that box of ho-hos to find the Hostess baseball cards on the bottom. In 1981, he started taking collecting seriously, and from 1994 to 2004, he was setting up at regional card shows in his area. In 2004, he sold everything and left the hobby, came back in 2014, and has been going strong ever since. His favorite teams are the Blackhawks, Bulls, Bears, and the Cubs. Favorite athletes are Michael Jordan and Roberto Clemente. Originally from Bridgeport, Connecticut, now hailing from Northwest Indiana. Let's bring him out. Victor Roman Sr., welcome to episode 83, Sports Cards Live. How are you doing tonight, my friend?
Man, I am. Jay Lee, you got me pumped, man. I'm ready to go. Thank you for having me on.
You are more than welcome, man. It's great to have you, Victor. I've been a fan of your YouTube channel for quite some time now, really probably since last summer. I really like what you're doing. You know, I've kind of titled you here as a rookie card theorist, and I had to think about what am I going to call this guy, because you fit two sort of I talk about Sports Cards Live as a show where we bring on industry insiders, passionate collectors, and content creators. And oftentimes the content creator crosses over with the passionate collector. You're obviously both, but you're also somebody who's really interested in what a rookie card is, how to define it, what some of the misunderstandings have been and the gray areas. And so I thought, you know what, at first I called you a rookie card expert, but I thought, well, that kind of sounds funny, rookie card expert. And then I thought, a thinker, you're a thinker, you're somebody. So I thought theorist really made sense to me as to what to call you. So I hope you're okay with that, my rookie card theorist.
It's on the positive side, so I'll go with it.
It is on the positive side for sure. I think there's nothing wrong with it at all. So, all right. Well, we got a bunch of people here with us already, guys. I'm glad to see we could steal some of Logan Paul's audience away from him tonight. I do want to let everybody also know that I went to Eastridge Hobbies here in Calgary, one of my local LCSs the other day, and I bought a pack of this 1983 O-Pee-Chee baseball. So if you're familiar with the top set, and Victor, I know you are, in the top set, you could get a Tony Gwynn, a Wade Boggs, and a Ryan Sandberg. Those are the three big rookies from the top set, but the O-Pee-Chee is a smaller set. There's no Wade Boggs. So we're going to open this at some point during the episode and look for Tony Gwynn or maybe even a Ryan Sandberg, but we'd sure love to pull a Tony Gwynn from this 83 pack of O-Pee-Chee baseball. I am not going to eat the gum tonight. I did that last time. That's enough for now. Okay, so Victor, let's get into it, and then we'll get into a bit about you. I want to start with you, and then we're going to get into what's going on in the chat with the guests. Victor, you're a little bit frozen on me right now, but say something so I know I can hear you.
I'm here, Jay Lee. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're a little bit frozen. Make sure no one in the house is using your Netflix or your Wi-Fi. But let's get into it. So I want you to tell us a bit about your history in the hobby. And specifically, I found it interesting that, you left the hobby in 2004 and you sold everything you had. You came back in 2014. Yeah. Why don't you take us through your history in the hobby and let us know, why did you leave in 2004 and what brought you back in 2014?
Yeah, I started, Jay Lee, as you said, in 1976 as a 6-year-old. And I call that moment when the seed was planted. It was at that point that, Mom would come home with groceries, and I was always pursuing the food and beverage issues that were very prevalent in that day. And I continued with that for a couple of years, but it wasn't until 1981, the summer of 1981, where my dad would come home from work, and on payday, every Friday, my dad would bring me a candy bar. And that was only when I was on good graces. Okay, but one particular summer Friday, he brought home baseball cards instead. And he got the packs from this guy that he works with. I guess this guy worked at the mill with him, but his side gig was selling cards. And he kind of introduced my dad into some cards. And my dad came home with a couple of handful of packs of Donruss and Fleer, more specifically. And so that was the point where I became a collector. Yeah, I was in 1981, I guess. And I was a collector. I continued all through the 80s, and it seems like every year I was getting more and more serious as a collector. And come 1994, I decided to become a collector/dealer regionally. I didn't do any nationals or anything like that, but I was doing a lot of shows regionally. And so it wasn't, and I kept doing that. It wasn't around 2001, Jay Lee, I started getting really frustrated with the hobby, more particular with rookie cards. And it was around 2003 that it was just leaving such a bad taste in my mouth. And it was just the overproduction of products. You see, we grew up in the 80s and 90s, and the concept then was you made us one set of everything. You collected everything. And I did that all through the 80s. And I did that halfway through the 90s even. I collected everything. But then the 2000s start rolling around, and the overproduction of product, and I was trying to keep up. And by 2004, I had just been completely burned out, I guess you can say. But the other thing, Jay Lee, was, I have 5 children. And so it had gotten to the point where I'm away from home every single weekend doing card shows. I'm spending money that I really don't have. And when you're raising 5 children, you don't have the kind of income to just dispense on cards like that all the time. So I tapped out. I couldn't do it anymore. And I took 10 years off, and I ended up raising my family, my kids, several of them have left home already. And so I progressed in my career as well. And so now I can get back into this. And so in 2014, I came back, and I was wondering, kind of what's going on in the hobby. And YouTube was prevalent. And so I just typed in on YouTube baseball cards. And I couldn't believe how many videos were available on sports cards. And the very first video I watched was Baseball Card Junkies TV. That was the first recommended video that YouTube gave me. And I watched that first video, Jay Lee, and I was hooked. Here we go again. I'm back, per se, right? And so that's really how I got started again in 2014. I started doing a lot of breaks at the very beginning, and then I switched over to doing buying collections. And what I would do is join Facebook groups for like yard sale groups in my area locally. And I'd wake up on Saturday morning, and I would just post on those yard sale groups, hey, anybody got any sports cards for sale? I'm looking. And I would get hits, and then here we go. And I would just start shopping for collections. But it wasn't, I started noticing, man, this is a lot of work. When you buy collections, it is a ton of work. And so I was kind of like, I want to get back to what I love. I realized that I don't want to be a seller. I want to be a collector. And so I made the decision, I'm going back to my rookie cards, and I'm just going to collect, okay? And so I was always a PSA graded rookie cards had always appealed to me since the early 2000s. And now I see that they have set registries. And I was like, oh man, I loved the concept of set registries. So I started a couple of set registries and I started shopping on eBay. And as I'm looking at eBay, I'm starting to notice everything and anything is like a rookie card. And I was making purchases. I brought one out as an example. I started a Frank Thomas set registry, okay? And I purchased this card, 1990 score traded to Frank Thomas. And I was really excited. I brought it home and I go to enter it into my set registry and it wouldn't take. And I'm like, what the heck is wrong with PSA's website now? Well, I started investigating further. This card is not listed in the set registry. And I'm like, well, why isn't it listed in the set registry? It's a Frank Thomas rookie card. And I come to find out, no, it is not a Frank Thomas rookie card because this is the traded set. The traded set is an extension of the regular set, and he already has a rookie card in the regular set. So all of this was just like an epiphany to me. But now I go shopping for Francisco Lindor and Javi Baez, but I'm starting to notice that from 2014 to 2016, everything and everything in between is a rookie card.
On eBay, when you say that, you mean on eBay as advertised, right?
Yes, correct, correct. And so that's what really led me to start doing research. And I researched this. I went hobby forums, books, articles, blog posts. I left no rock unturned. And for 5 years, I studied and dissected this rookie card issue that I had. And so that was the start of it, where I started putting the pieces together of the history of the rookie card. And so what I did was I started a blog on the topic, and it's alltimegreats.blog is the name of my website. But all my findings and all my research, my blog was kind of like this is where I'm documenting my findings, and I'm just figuring this thing out step by step. And so that's what led into a 5-part series on my website and on my YouTube channel.
Which goes through what you've discovered and your theories, if you will, your thoughts on the rookie card. So we will get to that. So, okay, well, so I feel like I have a good understanding of your history in the hobby, which I always like to go through, especially when we're going to talk about something technical, like what a rookie card is and the issues around it. It's nice to know that you've been in the hobby one way or another since 1976. When you took that break for 10 years, were you completely out, or were you still monitoring? Were you buying packs? What happened during those 10 years in terms of hobby, if anything?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would pick up, on occasion, I would pick up a baseball Beckett, and I would just kind of keep up to snuff with hobby happenings.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes of really what you're doing with your blog on YouTube, and that is the rookie card. So, first subtopic I have is the view of the rookie card and the importance in the hobby. How can you speak to that?
The view of the rookie card is, and I'll get into it in a little bit more detail later on, Jay Lee, but I think there's a misconception that I believe that it's up to the individual collector to decide what a rookie card is. And that, historically, when you look at that belief system, it's not working. It's causing a lot of confusion. And when we look at the hobby historically, we see that there has been a lot of debates, opinions, and ideas on what is a rookie card, and it's caused a lot of confusion. And there's all kinds of collectors, right? And I wrote them all down, Jay Lee, and I found that there's about 23 different types of collectors, more or less. But what all those types of collectors have is a common agreement that the rookie card is perhaps the most important and most influential card in the hobby. But because everybody agrees that it's the card, the most important, don't think that I painted you a picture of peace, love, and unity within the hobby about the rookie card. On the contrary, the rookie card has been one of the most divisive topics in the hobby.
Okay, so it's, and I agree with you. The view, there's so many different views of what the rookie card is, right? There's some that are obvious. There's some that are very easy to understand. Yet even in the simplicity of understanding some of these, the hobby doesn't even recognize them as rookie cards. And the best example that I can think of is the hobby's misguided position that the 52 Topps Mickey Mantle is a rookie card when it's just clearly not. The true rookie is the 51 Bowman. So in your research and your discussions with various people, I know you've even had the privilege of speaking with Dr. James Beckett about this. You've been on his podcast talking about rookie cards. So you're no slouch when it comes to this. Why do you think the hobby, and this isn't the hobby of the 2020s, this is the hobby of the last 40 years. Why do you think the hobby is just not really willing to give up on the 52 Topps Mantle being a rookie card?
I think, Jay Lee, and that's a great question, but it comes down to three things. We're either ignorant, uncertain, or we just have a blatant disregard altogether on what the hobby has established as the rookie card, being the 51 Bowman Mantle as a primary example.
Yeah, because I mean, it clearly came out in 1951. The Topps came out the year later. To me, I think the reason is because the 52 Topps Mickey Mantle is such a beautiful specimen of cardboard. It's obviously iconic. That goes without saying, and it's iconic because of the image on it, and it's also iconic because apparently lots of cases of the top. It's a high number card. Lots of these cases were thrown into the ocean and off the coast of New York or wherever it was, and these things just disintegrated and in the water, right? So there's fewer of them out there than maybe the rest of the set. It's a rare card for that reason. It's a rare card because of just natural wear and tear on these things from 1952, of course, before the time of penny sleeves and top loaders. And again, it's iconic image. The thing that I kind of shake my head at, though, is the 51 Bowman is a beautiful card in its own right as well. So I've always kind of wondered, because you'll see on big companies listings on eBay, they will put RC or rookie card beside the 52 Topps Mantle. And to me, that's just misinformation. And it's a lie, really. It's a lie. But is it really a lie if many people consider it? Like, what are your thoughts on this? Is it truly misinformation or a lie if so many people in the hobby, in their own mind, consider it to be a rookie card? Like, how do we get past that?
Oh, I think education, Jay Lee. We gotta educate ourselves. I mean, the hobby is growing. We kind of have to grow up a little bit and kind of understand and learn about our past, so then we can evaluate current day, and only then can we get a path towards the future. But to blatantly disregard and just this is what I say it is. It's irresponsible. Yeah,
I agree. I think it is, and I also agree that it comes down to education and just more people talking about it, perhaps, and getting it out there, because and I don't think it would take anything. We're talking about this 52 Topps Mantle specifically right now.
Right.
I don't think that stripping it of the RC designation, which it never earned in the first place, would do the card any damage. It's still probably the most recognizable card in the whole hobby, maybe besides the Michael Jordan rookie at this point in time, but still a very, very important card. And there's a little bit of hair on the Michael Jordan rookie too that we're going to talk about shortly. But I've already skipped ahead of myself. We'll come back to some of that. So we agree the rookie card is important in the hobby. I think everybody agrees with that. There's various views on it, and depending on the card, some different opinions on what's what. There's some issues around rookie cards that have really started since the 90s, let's say. Parallels, insert cards, those sorts of things. Speak a bit about the rookie card status of a true rookie cards parallel. And if anyone watching doesn't know what we mean by parallel, you've got the standard card, say a Young Guns rookie or a Prism base rookie in basketball, or just a Topps rookie in baseball. And then you've got a card that looks the exact same or very similar, maybe with some added foil and a serial number that makes it a parallel. Victor, what's the status of parallels in terms of their rookie card, their rookie cardedness?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's something I want to talk about that, Jay Lee. But can I go into like the history of the rookie card, and then as we go through that, we will hit on those questions that you asked there.
By all means.
Okay, let me start that. Let me start there. I'm going to start in 1980 because it's probably the most pivotal moment of the hobby per se. But in 1980, Clarence Newcomer was a Pennsylvania judge, and he was the judge for the lawsuit against Topps and Fleer. Now, this judge, in my opinion, should be in the hobby. If there was a hobby Hall of Fame, he should be a pioneer for the hobby. But he made the decision that Topps can no longer run this monopoly of sports cards and bubblegum. And he granted Fleer the right to print cards. So Fleer did not waste any time, neither did Donruss. The very next year, 1981, they started producing cards. And now collectors, they've always had just one rookie card to collect. Well, now they had three. So that was game on. That's exciting for collectors. Well, something else very interesting happened in 1981, and that was Fernando Valenzuela, the rookie phenom pitcher for the Dodgers. And he, at least in my memory, was the first rookie hype. You talk about Luka. No, man, Fernando Valenzuela, back in 1981, took the nation by storm. And everybody just loved this guy and what he was doing. And everybody loved his cards. And because we had now three manufacturers instead of one, man, this just really, there was such a demand for his rookie cards. Well, that started generating this excitement for rookie cards. And then it just continued. 82, we had Cal Ripken. 83, we had, there it is, Tony Gwynn, Wade Boggs. And come 1984, well, we had who? We had Don Mattingly, who was also really, really big. That was when that Don Mattingly, 1984 Donruss came out. I remember I was a young man, but that was such hype. And we're talking back in that era. I think there was more people pursuing cards back then than there are today. I know there's a big buzz in the hobby today, but I think back then it was probably bigger. But what else happened in 1984 was competition, right? And so Topps released the Topps Tiffany set for the very first time. Donruss started releasing these little subset cards, All-Star and Hall of Fame little subsets. And Fleer came out with a 1984 Fleer update. And they ended up kind of copying what Topps was doing, and they created their own update set in the 1984. So we talk about all these card manufacturers creating competition, and everybody just loves the competition because of all of the cool designs and all of the cards and options that collectors had. But competition also brought a very intense rookie card rivalry. And it was a race to who was going to get the rookie card printed first. And so what they were doing was releasing these update sets early on or I should say late in the season, I'm sorry. And what they would do was the August and September call-ups, they would include them into those update sets. That's what happened with the 1984 Roger Clemens. So he was included in the Fleer update because it's a race to get, whoever gets the rookie card first is the product that's going to explode. Well, now 1985 comes up and everybody puts rookie cards of Roger Clemens. Now, some collectors said, oh, wait a minute. How can these be rookie cards if he has this 84 Fleer update? This was the first car released. So this is the rookie card. And so it caused a lot of bickering within the hobby on which one was which. Well, this continued. And then in 1986, there was another big blow up with Barry Bonds. And they did the exact same thing. Now, you had 2 or 3 other card manufacturers printing Barry Bonds cards in the 1986 update sets. And then in 1987, they print more Barry Bonds rookie cards, and Beckett Publication deemed the 87s as the rookie card. And then here we go again. There was a big uproar of disagreement that the 87s are not, but it's the 86 that are the true rookie. So in an effort to bring peace and understanding within the hobby, Beckett Publications started that XRC identifier to kind of just bring clarity to both sets of cards. And a lot of times I laugh because a lot of collectors, or some collectors, have believed that the XRC means extra rookie card, when in reality it stands for extended rookie card. And so that's how that XRC thing started off. I'm going to be doing a video on the XRC in the coming weeks, so stay tuned for that. So we continue on. What I'm trying to point out, Jay Lee, is the disagreements that have been going on throughout the decades on the rookie card. Okay, that's what I'm leading up to. So now we get to 1991, which is the birth of the insert card per se, the insert card era, and there was a lot of debate there on rookie players inside of insert sets, and so the hobby kind of had to navigate through that, and it was deemed at that point that insert cards are not rookie cards. It was deemed by hobby publications, and if you talk to Dr. James Beckett, he has a very adamant conviction that the hobby decides. And all he was doing was recording what the hobby wanted. And so in early 90s, the hobby decided that inserts are not rookie cards. And then we come into 1997 where now parallels start showing up and surfacing. And it's okay, here we go. Now we have 3, 4 rookie cards of the same player in the same set. And so that started a whole new wave of disagreement. Which way do we go? The hobby back then decided that parallels are not rookie cards. A lot of people agreed with that. A lot of people didn't agree with that. And so here we are. Now, 2000 comes along, turn of the century. Now we have autographed rookie cards that come out. And so there's another layer. And now these autographed cards are serial numbered. So that included another layer of frustration into the equation. And then we get into 2001 with Ichiro and Albert Pujols. And this is what I considered the overproduction era, the overproduction of product. Those two guys, Pujols and Ichiro, have 41 different rookie cards. And by 2003, when LeBron James came out, LeBron James has 63 official rookie cards. 63. And so it's like, wow, what is going on here? So that is what we had to figure out was a lot of people was frustrated. The hobby was frustrated with what was going on in the hobby. And come November of 2004, the Major League Baseball Players Association They stepped in, and this is the key moment in the history of the rookie card that I believe is a very big deal that we got to pay attention to. But the MLBPA basically stepped in and said that there's going to be changes because, and I quote, consumer confusion is the reason why the MLBPA stepped in. And so in May of 2005, the MLBPA released a press conference. And in that press conference, Evan Kaplan, who was the director of licensing, had this press conference and basically laid out the changes that need to occur with the rookie card. Okay, and he ended up saying, and I'm going to quote him here. I love the way he explained it. He says, "In baseball, as in other sports, a player's rookie card should only be produced in the season in which he reaches the major leagues for the first time." Now here's what happened around this time, Jay Lee. And here's an episode of Beckett, issue number 247, 2005. And the hobby was trying to answer this question: is the rookie card broken? And so this was the dawn of a new era, per se, because now the MLBPA had stepped in and started communicating expectations to the industry on what is and is not allowable in the rookie card. You with me so far?
I'm with you. Matt. I'm racking up questions as we're going, and I'm just sort of writing them down so I can come back to them. But yeah, I'm with you all the way. Let's keep going.
Okay. And so in my video series that I have, that's where I ended the history of the rookie card in 2005. Okay. And then my next video is which I call the 10 Commandments of the rookie card. And here's where I basically was looking at, okay, through the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, we had all this confusion and frustration. And now today, it seems like anything and everything is a rookie card. It's up to whatever the collector says is a rookie card, that's what it is. But all that's doing is causing more confusion and frustration too. So we haven't really gotten anywhere. And here's where I propose, Jay Lee. Here's where I propose looking at our history. When you have chaos in society of confusion and frustration, I propose that the rookie card has to be and should be regulated by rules. Now, I know I hate to say the word rules because rules starts rubbing people the wrong way. Call it, put any adjective you want in there. Rookie card guidelines, rookie card boundaries, rookie card standards. What I believe the fix for this situation is that the rookie card should be governed by a set of standards, and they need to be defined. So I created this list, and I took this article. Half this issue deals with the MLBPA. So I read all of this, and I wrote down all the expectations that the MLBPA came up with, and those are the first 5 commandments.
Okay.
Okay. And then the second 5 commandments are historically what the hobby has decided what a rookie card is. Now, there were more than 5, but some of them are obsolete because the PA's rules kind of made them obsolete. So the remaining 6 through 10 are what the hobby has decided what a rookie card is. And go ahead.
Well, various rookie card standards are running through my mind right now. Needs to be widely available, needs to be pulled out of a pack, needs to have a print run higher than a minimum of whatever 99. I want to get into some of those things later, and I'm guessing that I think you said his name was Taplin. Was that his name from?
Evan Kaplan was the director of licensing at that time. I think he still has that position.
Okay, I'll call him Evan because I'm not sure what his last name is. So Evan Kaplan. Taplin with a T?
Kaplan.
Evan Kaplan. Okay, so Evan Kaplan, I'm guessing that he did not say that, okay, there has to be a print run with a minimum of 99. I'm guessing that's more of a hobby guideline or commandment, if you will. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so some of the other questions I had along the way. The Fleer updates. I remember the 84 Fleer update set. You could get the Kirby Puckett and the Roger Clemens were big cards in that set.
Yeah.
How does the hobby and Beckett Publications at the time gave it an XRC, but it gave the 85 cards of those players from that same manufacturer the actual rookie card designation, which to me doesn't make sense. Why would the rookie card be from 85 if they had a card in 84 that was like part of the main set or an extension of the main set? Where is the hobby right now on those Fleer update rookies?
Well, I'll tell you why they did that, Jay Lee, because a long time hobby standard was that a card has to be in pack form distributed nationally. And back in the 80s, those update sets were only available to hobby shops. And they only came in little boxes of 132 count cards. So right there is two disqualifiers for the rookie card designation.
Okay, good answer. And this is one where my personal thoughts on what it's so funny because I say what I consider to be a rookie card, but I'm not going to argue with the hobby, right? If the hobby says it's this, I'm good with that. But it's more or less what I'm willing to put in my collection as a representation of that player and their career. Sometimes I'm willing to go outside of what the hobby says in that case. We'll get to some of that later, I suppose. But so the hobby is still currently saying that those 84 updates are XRC, so extended rookie cards, which doesn't even make sense, that terminology, because extended from what? If they're extended, why aren't they still rookie cards? They're extended from a base set, but were issued in a different format. So, okay. And as you can see, I mean, I'm even talking in circles a little bit here. This is where some of the frustration and the confusion lies, is just in every individual person trying to figure it out for themselves.
And here's the thing. A lot of people believe like you do, and a lot of people don't believe that. A lot of people say, no, they got it right.
Right. Okay, so the next question I had was with respect to print runs. And because you were going through the history of the hobby, and you took us to the early 2000s, which from my recollection, we started seeing serially numbered rookie cards as early. I know in hockey, which is my biggest strength in terms of the sports, we started seeing serially numbered rookie cards. I mean, really becoming a thing in around 2000. But I know we had them in the like, I can think of some Sedin cards that were numbered in like the 97 or 98 season as well. Where does the hobby lie on serially numbered rookie cards? And, there was a time when I remember Beckett said, not Dr. Beckett, but the magazine itself had said that in order for a card to be a rookie card, it has to have at least 100 copies printed. And then they bent that rule to include 99, because 99 was just a sexier number for a card. How much confusion did that bring the hobby at the time with all of a sudden these serially numbered cards? Because then there was another. So hold on to that thought, because then there was another product that came out in hockey. It was called Titanium, and they put out a rookie card of the player that was numbered to the player's jersey number. So if you were a goaltender who often wear number 1 or 31, and you wore number 1, you had one card in the set. And there's a very famous card in hockey. It's a Ty Conklin card from 2000, Titanium, and it was only pulled a few years ago. 17 years after it was released, and the hobby accepts that, as far as I know, as a rookie card. So where in your view of where we stand, what was the confusion like with these serially numbered cards, and where are we at with these rookie cards that are numbered out of a player's jersey number?
I'm not aware of that issue that you brought up with the up to 99. First it was 100, then they moved it to 99. I'm unaware of that one, so I can't speak to that. But the other part of your question is where are we with? And this is the why, Jay Lee, because you have questions, and you're asking me the questions, and I'm really not sure. This is why. This is case in point to my argument. This is why we need a set of guidelines and a set of standards so that when a question does arise, we have something to reference to. Now, as far as parallels are concerned, serial numbered parallels, that's like the big craze in the hobby. Everybody loves their parallel rookie cards, and I'm of the position that a parallel card it's a variant. It's a copy of the original. And so I take the view and the stance that I do not consider parallels rookie cards. But in the atmosphere of flipping and investing, that's like salt on a wound. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody agrees with that. But looking at the hobby historically, I still don't see parallel cards as rookie cards, serial numbered or not. Now, do I think they're cool? Absolutely. Would I collect them? Absolutely. I have some. Are they valuable? Obviously, they're valuable. But as far as them having a true, pure rookie card designation in my collection, it's not going to happen.
So, sounds to me, I think if we're going to go by the traditional view of a rookie card, we're going to really narrow the boundaries down, and it's going to be a more finite amount of cards that can hold the RC designation. And the parallel one is a really big one for me personally, because if you think about it, parallels of important rookie cards are often way more valuable and more highly desirable because of their rarity and oftentimes their aesthetics versus the base rookie for that card. So if we take that position, we're almost saying that while the rookie card is important, it's not as it's just there are more valuable rookie year cards that look just like the rookie card than the rookie card itself. It could almost devalue the rookie card. Not devalue, because if there are more valuable parallels, it's oftentimes the value is right where it should be, I would argue. But because for me as a collector, I like the rookie card, the base copy, but I even like more the rare parallel. And as someone who has been a rookie card collector my whole life, I've now evolved my collecting to say, okay, and think of a Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck rookie, one that everybody knows about. Card number 1, the first Upper Deck card of all time. That rookie card is very interesting and very important. If it had a parallel that was numbered to 1,000 or 100 or 10 or 1, it would be way more valuable than the Upper Deck card, than the true rookie card. So to me, it's almost like these parallels, in my mind, I consider them rookie cards, even though but I don't consider them to earn the RC designation. So it's kind of like, what did I just say there? I consider them rookie cards, but not to get the RC designation. But that makes sense in my head somehow,
Right.
And I'm also willing to, because I want to have a rookie card of all these different players, I'm willing to not have the true RC in favor of the parallel RC. Does that mean that we need to change the rookie card designation from being RC to TRC for true rookie card or something like that, and then use the RC designation to cover that card and its family of parallels?
That's a great question, and there needs to be a resolve in that area. I really truly believe it. But let me paint it to you this way, JV. Now, if I'm a flipper and investor, I love the parallels, man. The parallels are where it's at, right?
Yeah.
But now if I'm a collector and I really want to collect Vladimir Guerrero, and I want to become a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Super collector, and I want to get all his cards. Player collectors are getting really frustrated because Vladimir Guerrero Jr., his Topps Chrome has 29 parallels in it, and the price goes up with each variant. And so super collectors are sitting here going like, forget it. You see what I'm saying? So it like benefits one group, but it doesn't benefit the other group.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about it as a collector and an investor. I'm both, right in the middle, let's say. So but to me, I'm just one guy. I'm not two guys. It's not, Jeremy the investor and Jeremy the collector, two separate people. I'm one guy that does both at the same time. So I try to find a card that for a specific player that satisfies both of my needs. One of, I want this person's rookie card for my collection because I collect rookie cards, and then I want it to be something that is going to hold its value, maybe appreciate in value over time, something that I'm not just, as I've said on a prior episode, something that goes on my balance sheet, not on my income statement. And but it's interesting, man. I mean, if anyone came here to watch this episode tonight was thinking you were going to come away with the rules or what is a rookie card, what isn't, I don't know that we're going to get there. I don't know that Victor's got there, but he has a plan at least, and we'll get to that a little bit later as well. Okay, I also wanted to ask you about Evan Kaplan when he did this for baseball. To your knowledge, did the other sports follow that lead?
I don't believe so. I believe the NBA and the NFL, I'm not sure about hockey, but the NFL and NBA, they have their license is they have usage rights, meaning they only need one license. So it's not really an issue for those sports. And a lot of times when their draft picks are immediately utilized into their rosters. In baseball, on the other hand, they have exclusive rights, meaning they have some stipulations involved. And so when a player usually gets drafted, he's not in the major leagues right away. He goes to the minor league system.
Right. I'm just thinking like all this confusion around it. Let's just put the blame on the card manufacturers for getting so creative and coming up with all these different sets and insert sets and parallels. And never mind. So you got the base set, you got parallels, you got inserts, and then you've got parallels of inserts, which is a whole other thing. Which I love parallels of inserts because they're often the rarest cards in the product. They're often case hits and that kind of. Anyway, that's a bit off topic. I also want as the card manufacturers evolved in their creativity and from the standpoint of competition and keeping things fresh and the demand of the hobby on them, or from the demand from collectors onto the manufacturers to keep things fresh, they evolved over time. And it's because of that we have all this confusion, as well as different distribution channels, whether it's retail or hobby, right? There's confusion in what cards came in each of those different channels or distribution channel or formats. So very, very, very complex, right? Does anything kind of stick out to you from those comments?
Yeah, and I think, and it really rolls into. I'll just roll into my third video on this series, and that's the future of the rookie card. And in that video, I propose two things, Jeremy, that I think are very, very crucial, and that's proper communication within the hobby. We need to get better at calling it what it is and not what we want it to be. Now, there's this belief and this mindset, and it's a very strong one, that says they're my cards. I'm going to call them rookie cards if I want to, and nobody can tell me different. And I agree with that. Within the confines of your home, I say you call them whatever you want, man. They're your cards. And if you believe a fifth-year Derek Jeter card is a rookie card, hey, that's what it is, because it's your card. But when you go public with that belief, I think you're now part of the problem. And if we just get a little bit of verbiage, if we can just clearly define what we're looking at here, I think it'll be healthy for the hobby overall. And this is why I'm a big advocate for COMC. And they've developed a system that I believe is rock solid. And they have rookie card identifiers for every card. Now, they're not all 100% accurate, but most of them are accurate. But they designate their cards with a pre-rookie card, and rookie year. So it gives us, oh, okay, I can understand now. And I think it would be very, very good if we can just maybe adopt something that we already know, which is COMC. If we have a question or we're uncertain if a card is a rookie card or not, we can look at Beckett's database. We can go to COMC and let's see what COMC calls this card. And it would be very, very helpful. The bottom line is this. Listen, I believe as of 2005 to present, Jay Lee, I don't have the authority. The hobby no longer has the authority. The hobby had the authority prior to 2005. But today, the hobby doesn't have the authority either. And so we have to, at some point, pivot and learn the new way so we can preserve the rookie card. The rookie card, I believe, is sacred. And it needs to be respected and protected by us, the collectors. But it seems like because we're ignorant, uncertain, or because we may have an agenda, we've muddied the waters. And there's a lot of confusion. And here's the big part. And I don't even know if I want to get into this, Jay Lee, but I think we need to. Okay,
let's do it.
There's this statement within the hobby that says the hobby decides what a rookie card is. And I don't know what it is about that statement, but it's always rubbed me the wrong way. And it wasn't until I got on I had the opportunity to be on Dr. James Beckett's podcast and some of his closing statements, and he was very adamant that the hobby decides. And after a few days were going by, and I was just looking at that statement was just gnawing at me, man. And I started, what is my problem with that statement? Because it's empowering. It's power to the people, right? It's the hobby telling the card manufacturers, you don't tell us, we'll tell you type of mentality, right? So it should be power to the people, but it's not what we're doing. It's not what we're doing. In one hand, we say the hobby decides. And then on the other hand, the hobby also says that we'll never come to consensus on what a rookie card is. Yeah. So it's like, wait, what the hell kind of, Jay Lee, and I don't mean to, but it's so frustrating because we contradict ourselves. The hobby decides, and then you start talking about the rookie card and you try talking things through and coming to a resolution and trying to figure things out. And we just get into this male ego, right? The male ego kicks in and you don't tell me. And so, well, we're never going to agree on what a rookie card is. And so what happens? More confusion.
Yeah, I think, I hear you, and I can understand why that statement didn't resonate with you after a couple of days. And I think to sum it up, what I'm hearing is that the hobby hasn't decided. If the hobby would have decided, the hobby would have decided by now.
Bingo.
Hobby.
What have we decided?
Nothing.
We haven't
haven't really decided yet. So the hobby hasn't really decided. I also want to touch on when we talk about some people might say, who cares? Call it what you want. Like, who cares? Why does it even matter? And you said it's important. It's the rookie card is I forget the word you used, but it's an important. Say again.
Sacred.
It's sacred within our hobby, and I think it is too. But the reason why we need some sort of standard to follow is because of the public advertisements of cards for sale, whether that's on eBay, COMC, Facebook, whatever platform it is that you're selling on. You could even be at a card show and just put a little sticker and write RC on it and stick it on your card. If it's not a true RC, you're misleading a potential buyer. And I think that's where you really get your backup is because when you came back into the hobby, you were misled on that Frank Thomas score update card.
And I was an experienced collector, Jay Lee. I was experienced. Imagine the novice.
Well, we have so many people coming back into the hobby right now, this year, last year, after being away from it for 20, 30, 40 years. A lot of people are coming back, and they're going to be up against the exact same thing that you were up against, when you came back in 2014, in that they don't know what do I believe? What is a rookie card? You know, it can be very challenging and very confusing. You look at a set of cards, not only are there a bunch that look the same, i.e. the parallels, but then there's the inserts that some of them look like they might just be the rookie card itself. How do you sometimes tell? So I agree with, yeah.
Daly, I totally, and I had mentioned that we no longer have the authority, but this is where it's going to take leadership. Okay, I think the MLBPA needs to step in once again to bring clarity. Give us. Let's all come together. The MLBPA, the industry, hobby publications, collectors. Let's all come in and let's set up a set of standards that we can all go by. Because, and here's I believe they're already there, and it's in the 10 Commandments that I've written out. But that's just my version, and it's totally unofficial because those type of decisions need to come from the top. And once we have that, well, then now we can overrule opinions. Okay, now we have something to look at. And it comes down to the collectors need to comply with the rules instead of the rules complying to the collectors. We all want to call it whatever we want, and we want to put our own spin on it because we all have our reasons for it. And all we have is muddied water. That's it, muddy water.
And I think it's important because we don't want someone to get a bad taste in their mouth who's just coming back into the hobby. I also think it's important because we, you know, as a hobby, looking out for each other, collectors, we will often call out eBay sellers for doing something wrong, mislisting, whatever it is they may be doing, an error. Well, this is the same sort of thing because it's one thing that we just sort of accept. We just sort of accept that sellers can put the letters R and C in any eBay listing that they want. And I mean, they do that. We know that. And whether insert a parallel or the true RC. The other thing that I think of when I think about applying some standards to them is that we're gonna the RC designation is going to be used far less frequently than it is right now, just because it's going to parallels and inserts are going to be stripped of people's ability to use them. And if people still do use them when they're selling, I want to see them called out on it because you're misleading potential buyers. All that said, and COMC really started this designation being the RY, at least as far as I know, being the RY designation. To me, the RY designation is going to grow. That's where we've got potential because you take the RC designation away from a parallel or an insert that maybe never had it in the first place. I get that, but let's just, for the sake of discussion,
Correct.
Take the RC designation away from inserts and parallels, and now you stick those cards with the RY designation. The RY designation is all of a sudden going to become a very powerful, important, influential designation, maybe as important, even maybe more important than the RC designation, simply because RY cards, or at least some RY cards, are more valuable and rarer than the rookie card that they are fashioned against or from. So I think RY, and that's where I've gone. And personally, in my collecting, I still like RCs, especially up until, say, 1990 something. I love the RC designation. But once the companies got more creative and the hobby evolved really in the mid-90s till present day, RC is a very limited designation. It doesn't apply to many cards. I mean, sure, there's 20 Sidney Crosby rookies and 87 Luka Doncic rookie cards, but how many of them are RCs? How many of them are RYs? And will the RYs be what is almost like, and I can see there being two classes of RYs, right? There can be a subset card within a base set, maybe a scoring leaders or something like that, an action card, whatever it may be. That's an RY card, but it's a base card worth 10 cents. It doesn't really matter. Whereas you also have RY inserts, RY parallels. And so I can see RY becoming as important and as discussed upon as the RC is, because now you got to figure, like, are there different types of RY? So, I mean, this isn't to get into the RY designation, although I think it's a natural way to go. What are your, like, does this all make sense? And I'd love, you know, I haven't looked at the comments for a little while, but I'm wondering what everyone else thinks out there in terms of all this. I do want you to read the 10 commandments of the rookie card. If unless you have anything else you want to say first, if you have them handy. I think you said you had them written down, so I'm hoping you do.
Oh, no, I did not. I can probably pull them up on my iPad here.
Okay, so yeah, pull those up, and while you're pulling it up, I'm just gonna mention. So we've talked about RC, we've talked about RY, and we've also talked about the XRC, which is a designation that I don't even know if it belongs, and I got to think that through. But it's like maybe it does. I guess it does. I guess it does because of some of the old commandments.
Yeah, they don't really use it anymore. As far as from my research, they've gotten rid of that terminology, but they did grandfather in that stuff from like the 80s, and there are a few sets scattered there where there was such a mix up in card manufacturing that they were forced to designate it as an XRC because of the uproar that it was causing within the hobby.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, we talked about the 10 commandments. You have them ready to go?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, here it is. Let's hear the 10 commandments of the rookie card, keeping in mind the first 5 are really, where do they come from again?
From the MLBPA.
And the second 5?
From the hobby.
Let's have them.
The first, I'm going to give you what the actual commandment is, and then I may, on some of them, I have a little bit of commentary that I've included. Okay. So number 1 is a rookie card must be licensed by both the league and the Players Association. That's an MLB only. Takes 2 licenses. Okay. This indicates that a player is a member of the organization, and manufacturers can now legally print cards of that player. Please note, both licenses are needed. Number 2, a rookie card can only be released after a player has made a pro-level roster. That's kind of, and these, I like what these are, these first 5, because they're blanket statements, and they cover everybody, all the leagues.
Yeah.
Number 3, a rookie card must be branded with some type of identifier on the card front. Okay. Number 4, a non-pro roster player can appear on insert cards without the MLB RC logo. Now, this is where you get, they'll include subsets of like prospect pipeline, and they'll feature minor league players in the subset, but they're not allowed to put the RC identifier on those cards. That's where that one comes from. Number 5, a non-pro roster player can be included in the base set as a rookie card with the consent of the MLB, but an August 31st deadline still applies. This is what I've called the exception rule. They have the PA is flexible because the rule is he has to be on a 25-man roster at the start of the season. But they've allowed this exception that he can come in mid-season so long as he plays in at least 45 games and he at least gets 130 at-bats, and then it's okay to put the MLB RC designation on their cards. You follow?
I follow.
Okay. Number 6. These are the hobby now. A rookie card must appear in the base set. If a player has more than 1 card in the base set, the first appearance of that player shall be considered the rookie card. That has been, for the past 40 years, that has been the standard how the hobby has done it. Number 7, a rookie card must come from a product that is allocated in pack form and distributed nationally when released. Regional sets may be desired by some collectors, but the industry doesn't include those because of limited distribution. The overall principle here is all collectors should have a fair and equal chance at owning said cards. Okay.
Okay. I'm snickering because I'm thinking of the way that cards are now sold on companies' websites, and there's the bots that are scooping them up and the prices make it like people are going to be like shaking their heads like, well, I guess it's just there's no rookie cards anymore because we can't get anything anymore, right? So no one has a fair shake at them type of thing.
Number 8, a player's rookie card that is part of an update or traded set and was distributed in pack form nationally must not have any other cards issued within that same product line.
Oh.
And here's, Jay Lee, let me say this. In my video, the 10 Commandments of the Rookie Card, I give you multiple examples of each of these so you can get a clear understanding of what it means.
Great.
All right. Number 9, cards from licensed or unlicensed manufacturers depicting players in minor league uniforms shall not be considered rookie cards. Also, historically, anything that is a product of Coca-Cola, Post, Hostess, that sort of food and beverage issues are not considered rookie cards either. And
So
the last...
Sorry, before you, the hockey people in the room are kind of raising one eyebrow like this because
okay.
in 2005, Beckett Publications anointed the McDonald's Sidney Crosby card as earning the RC designation, which goes against that commandment. But personally, my view is, yeah, give it to it. Who cares? And there's a McDonald's everywhere. You know, you know, especially hockey being more Canadian. You went to any McDonald's in Canada, you could have got that card. So it was almost like going to McDonald's. It's like going to the hobby shop, just like going to McDonald's in the States right now for your Pokemon Happy Meal is like going to the hobby shop to buy Pokemon cards. So I was okay with that one. Again, an exception, right? These standards need to have, you might have 10 commandments, but each commandment needs to have a little bit of a corollary to it that sort of says, here are the exceptions type of thing. So I'm sorry to interrupt.
Exceptions and miscues are rampant. It is, part of my channel is looking at those exceptions and miscues all throughout history. Number 10, a rookie card must not be an insert, redemption, or a parallel, nor an on-demand product.
Not a redemption. See that one I don't like.
There's been a lot of issues. Historically, it's been a nightmare because they're not manufacturers are not holding up their end of the bargain. By the time the player gets the card, it's a season down the road before they actually get the actual card in hand. And there's been a lot of headache about rookie card redemptions.
Well, one of the thing about a redemption, and I'm going to use a hockey example just because it's what I know best. So Nathan McKinnon had an Upper Deck SP Authentic Future Watch, which is the name of the card, in 2013. But I don't remember this specifically, but apparently it was a redemption. So it didn't come out until later. But the fact of the matter is the reason why it didn't come out until later and was a redemption was because the player didn't return the cards on time. Those cards were printed along with every other rookie card from that year. They were printed at the right time. They were sent to the player at the right time. The companies didn't receive them back on time to put them in the package, in the product itself. So,
you're a big Shaquille O'Neal fan, aren't you?
Yeah.
You remember the debacle with Shaq back in 1992 when the NBA season started and he was still under contract with Classic. So what did everybody do? We're going to invent these redemption cards and hand out the redemptions in the packs so that when the calendar went to 1993, well, now we can include him into Series 2. It was just a big... Right.
That's a different redemption than the one I was just speaking to. We've seen that. I've seen that in hockey as well, where that happened in the lockout season in 2004. Upper Deck in the same product, SP Authentic, did some redemptions for Crosby and Ovechkin, which they couldn't put out until the next year. So they still say 14-15 on them, even though they really didn't come out till 15-16. There was no season. So again, a commandment that needs a couple paragraphs of text to describe it, which adds more confusion. This is not an easy mountain to climb to figure all of these things out.
But we got to start talking about it. We got to start putting pressure where the pressure belongs. That's the only way things are going to at least semi-clear up.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you want to talk about next? I'm looking at my notes. We talked about, the misinformation of regarding the rookie card. I think we've covered that. We talked about the future of the rookie card, but you haven't yet talked about a couple of these other designations. The pre-rookie card, which is sort of, in my opinion, where the XRC should fall. And then you have your own designation that you've somewhat invented that I don't want to say it. I want you to speak to it. But can you talk about, in addition to RC, rookie card, RY, rookie year card, PRC, which is pre-rookie card, and you can speak to that. And then you've got your fourth one. I'll let you announce it.
It's a series I started on my channel last month, and I call it Rookie Card Exercises, where I actually have 4 categories. The pre-rookie, which is where all of the prospect and minor league cards fall into. The rookie card, actual rookie card, a true rookie card. And then rookie year, which is really any card, like an insert card, that was produced in his rookie year. So it's not a rookie card, even though it says RC, but in actuality, it shouldn't be. But then I created a 4th category, and that is post-rookie themed, because there's a lot of cards that are 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year cards that still have a theme of rookie on the front, in the design. And a lot of novice collectors that I have noticed, they still think that that's a rookie. It's like that one Cheech and Chong movie. I don't know if you've ever got into that, but when the cop pulls him over and he asks him for his license, and he says, "Yeah, the license is back there in the bumper, man."
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So we get this card, and just because it says rookie, look, it says rookie right there. It's a rookie card. No, it's not. And so I'll take a stack of cards, and I'll categorize them by each 4 of the categories, and then I'll do a few, and then I'll kind of pause and let the viewers kind of guess where this one belongs, and I kind of do it that way. It's a lot of fun, just something I started doing, but it really starts to, I got a lot of positive feedback on that. It made a lot of sense, and it started opening up a lot of people's eyes as to, now that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I like your RT. I call it, you said the, I forget what you called it specifically, but the rookie theme or the post-rookie year, rookie, to me.
Post-rookie theme, yeah.
Post-rookie theme. I think, if I'm just going to use it in my everyday conversation, I'm going to call it an RT, rookie theme card. Obviously, it's not a rookie year card. It's not a rookie card. It's something else. And that's not to add a layer of confusion. That's more to just help new collectors understand that a card that might look like a rookie card because it might have that theme is not truly a rookie card. Okay. David G. Brodeur had a star rookie card for Upper Deck a year later. Right. He did, but it's not the rookie card. Score beat them to it as to how the rookie cards were defined at the time. Yes, Justin, I'm more confused, I think, now than I was going into this discussion.
I hope not. I hope that's not the case.
I'm sorry, Victor.
Yeah. No, and that's, listen, when we're talking about, we really have to be, we really have to take the time and carve out to understand. And this is why I've really dissected this stuff on my channel. And I've done it in little increments because I know it can be overwhelming, and that brings discouragement. I don't want that to happen. But when we do sit down and watch a video, come to it not to be entertained, but to learn something, and maybe even grab a notebook and a pen and take some notes down, because it does require us to do a little bit of homework. And once we start grasping 2 or 3 principles, then things start to open up for us and we understand.
Fair. Yeah. Well said. And when I say, I think I'm leaving here more confused than I came, not so much with what a rookie card is, but more what I like. What, how am I going to move forward personally? I've kind of find myself like, whoa, okay, I never thought about that. Some comments that are coming in are really making you think about what you're doing. I'm not saying like regretting collecting habits along the way, but really just like wondering, okay, I got to kind of rethink the way I see something here. So, and I'm willing to do that. I'm always willing to think outside of my own box.
Jay Lee, that's my goal is awareness and education.
I hope you enjoyed that. I know it was just